Thank you, Emma. Yes, projects, the various fundraising projects, merchandise, existing and upcoming. Can I, before I go on, just thank very much the Ainley family for this splendid photograph, sunrising honey in little pots, put together for a family wedding, which sadly was postponed until after the pandemic. But I think that's a splendid idea, honey in little pots. So indeed, let's start with the sunrising honey. Now, although we have now removed the beehives, we do still have a stock of honey left to sell, despite my assertion at last year's AGM that supplies were almost exhausted. I was fairly wrong with that. Yes, it's a shame that we no longer have the bees on site. As you can see from this slide, the honey has been a very popular product, and sales of this have made a very healthy profit for the Friends over the years. The bees were, we found, becoming slightly territorial, and we're clearly developing a fairly robust manifesto in respect of who they felt should be allowed near to the hives on site. Now, their view was, we felt, somewhat at odds with our own more welcoming attitude. In short, we can't risk having bees on site that are going to sting visitors. It sends out rather the wrong message, we felt. Hence, we had to remove the hives. Now, if at some point in the future we feel that we can again host some bees, then we will certainly consider it. At the moment, however, with no managed honeybees, all our nectar is there to feed the wild bees and the other pollinators. Incidentally, we can't send honey by post, so if you would like some, you simply need to get in touch, let Emma know whether you'd like perhaps to come to the cabin and buy some. It's not a problem in that respect. The lapel pins. This lapel pin, another established and popular item. As I always say, it's very much a must-have fashion accessory, and it again bears the distinctive sunrising hair logo, which was designed and gifted to us by our friend, the preposterously talented Tim Howe. Now, this is very much a staple in the Friends shop, and it's lovely to see them on the jackets and coats of visitors, celebrants, funeral directors even, and of course on the Friends. I think I'm right in saying we're on our second production run of this item. They make a splendid gift, and of course it's one that we can readily send to you if you're not able to come to the burial ground. In tandem with this very much is this, the keyring, the sunrising keyring, again based on Tim's hair logo. It's a relatively recently introduced item, which is proving popular and is selling well. Indeed, we only need to sell 2 more before we can break even. Having done so, as you see, there is a sizable potential profit to be made for the Friends from sales of this item. I was saying to David earlier, this will be an ideal point to draw your attention to the click to buy or the add to trolley button, if we had such a thing, but we don't. However, as I say, readily available. Simply contact us if you'd like one and you'd like Emma to send them to you. Sunrising cards. These are another staple in our merchandise range. Sales of these, as you can see, have raised in excess of £3,500 since their introduction in 2012. These are blank greetings cards on a good quality paper, each photograph taken at sunrising by our very own Emma, with the collection changing each year. Cue the latest such collection to be introduced. These are the sunrising cards, the 20 to 21. Now, sales, of course, are a bit slower this year, simply because, as you have heard, it's been effectively a list of cancelled events. But the new collection is now being printed. You can see them here. These can be sent by post, so once again, get in touch if you'd like to order. Otherwise, they will be available in the cabin, but again, do let Emma know if and when you'd like to come and pick some up so she can be there. Now, these come in packs of 12, or indeed can be purchased individually. In tandem with these, we have our customary Christmas cards, or as they're blank inside, simply winter cards. These come in packs of 6, and a good part of our fundraising comes from the sale of these Christmas cards. At previous AGMs, you may remember we customarily had a list whereby you can simply write down during the break how many you'd like, and we would print accordingly. So this time, let us know what you would like for this year. You can view these cards on the website, and again, we can post your order to you, or you can once again arrange to collect them from Emma in the cabin on site. The Sunrising Tea Towel, this beautiful autumn tea towel, designed by Philip Bannister. Thank you once again, Philip, another popular seller, a particular favourite of mine. Again, we're happy to post the tea towels to you. Simply let us know what you'd like, and Emma can let you have the cost of these and of any additional postage or packing, or yet again, of course, just come to the cabin. The hair purses. Now, these have proven to be a fantastic addition to the product range. It's an inspired idea, a wonderful gift to the friends, designed and created by Carol Stripe, who I think is looking on today. And again, using Tim's hair logo, these lovingly crafted, handmade. I can only imagine the amount of work that goes into each of these. They are ideal for coins and cards, emergency humbugs, whatever you need them for. And this sort of support is amazing. It means that for every purse sold, 100% of the profit goes to the friends. So thank you again, Carol, for your sterling needlework skills. And again, without the events, these two are selling more slowly, but we can certainly post these to people. Another hugely popular product that sells out very rapidly, the jams, the jellies and chutneys made by Jonathan Fletcher. With these, as with the honey, unfortunately, we can't send these out by post, but I know Jonathan has been picking fruit at Sunrising, the blackberries, the crab apples, the sloes and so forth, and is making more of these wonderful preserves. Now, these will be available, we're hoping, at the planting weekend, at the tree planting weekends, and as ever, by arrangement and collection from the cabin. Again, this is a true gift to the friends. It's inspired creativity with the proceeds going directly to the friends. Very much like Carol's hair purses, this is a perfect example of someone coming up with an idea or an item that they might feel prove a good fundraiser, then actually producing or creating that product off their own back, and then gifting all of the profits to the friends. So thank you so much for that, Jonathan, as I say, and Carol too. Now, the Sunrising Perennial Calendar. This, another inspired idea from fellow trustee Jane Townsend. Instead of our previous calendar, our last one in 2018, which of course had a limited sale period, simply because it was designed for that single year. Now, this is a perennial calendar, the kind you can use for anniversaries, birthdays, and other annual events, effectively ad infinitum. Richard Ellis is a local, a Tyso photographer who has taken some stunning pictures on site at the burial ground and who has given us these photos to use for fundraising purposes as we saw fit. Furthermore, Jane's cousin Wendy, who works for a printer, is doing the first run of these pro bono. So again, all the proceeds will go to the friends. The calendar itself will be produced on a good quality paper with a spiral bind and a hanging hook. They'll be priced at £12 with a further £3 postage and packing if you want us to send it to you. Now, at the moment, we are only taking pre-orders rather than payment for these. The calendar is still slightly a work in progress as we're still finalizing, in conjunction with Richard, the final choices of images and fine-tuning the reproduction of those. So if you are interested, again, just drop us an email or check our web page. Just type Sunrising Perennial Calendar into Google, or you can find it through the friends on the website. So where are we going exactly? The children's book. Now, this is a project that took a while to complete, from initial meetings back in, I think, 2015, when a writers group came together. They engaged the services of an illustrator, right up until the publication of this book last year, 2019. This is a lovely, gentle, timeless story. It's geared towards children, their understanding, or perhaps lack of death, and of the myths, the fears, the often voiced misconceptions surrounding death or the loss of a loved one. It's intended as an aid to helping youngsters come to terms with death and burial, and to help them reach a better understanding of the impact of death. And I feel this book offers, within a delightful yet a structured narrative, almost a suggested avenue for perhaps broaching to a child or to children that delicate subject of dying or of losing someone close to them. And here then are the talented folk responsible for bringing this project to fruition. Many thanks to Barbara, Joe, Sean, Simon, and to Philip. Now, with lockdown, of course, sales have been slower than we would have liked, but it is selling. Reviews are very favourable and are showing just how well this book is being received. Once the costs are covered, the profit will come to the friends. So, as I say, a beautifully crafted, a wonderfully illustrated labour of love. And again, further information on how to obtain copies of this book can be found on the website. Slow sunrising. Now, with so many people unable to get to sunrising through the tight restrictions of lockdown and the ongoing shielding, we got to thinking whether we could perhaps combine fundraising with giving people a feel, as it were, for sunrising, for the burial site. This slow sunrising idea emerged with Emma simply walking around sunrising, making the video, and then David subsequently editing the footage. The result is effectively a virtual visit to sunrising and a walk around in the company of Emma on a sunny day, filmed back in July of this year. For those of you who haven't seen it, it can be found on the Friends tab of the website, or again, simply Google Slow Sun Rising. Now, there is also a donate button beside it if you feel like contributing. You can see from this slide that many have done just that and made some very generous donations. People have said it's a video that you can go back to again and again. So it was produced as something of an experiment, but it has clearly worked and has proven very popular. I know Emma and David are planning to do a few more over the coming year, hopefully showing the differing seasons at sunrising. So we will, of course, keep you posted. I will now again hand over to my co-host, Emma.